Hi, everybody. My name is S.W. Miron, and I am here to welcome you to Glass Skulls. This is episode 6, and I am very excited to get into what we're going to talk about today. Last time, I made you guys a promise about the lyrics that I didn't get to last time. So I'll get right to the lyrics. But before that, it's always the most important thing to keep going back to the why. Your why. What is your reason? What is your reason for being here? Like, honestly, take a second and think about that. Like, you could be anywhere in the world right now doing anything, and you're watching this. So maybe your why is because you have people in your life that have mental illness and you want hope to know that things can get better and that they can live lives that are high quality lives despite having to battle mental illness. I know for me, a big piece of my why I do this and I write my books and I do why I do everything that I do. So connected to mental health is yes, of course, because I have had a personal experience. I mean, I live it day in and day out. I'll tell you what, bipolar disorder really sucks. And this past week was one of those weeks that there was a 4-day manic episode where I did not sleep at all, not one wink. So for me, my why is super personal because it's like pertaining to myself. But I care so much about trying to share some of the things I've learned over my 20 years in treatment because I hope that it can give other people hope. And maybe that can give hope to others who battle mental illness. Maybe it gives hope to, family members that are trying desperately to figure out ways to help support the people that they love with very challenging stuff. But another really important part of my why, and it will always be, is to fight the stigmas. Together, we are strong. We are a threat. We are a group of people that, through many different ways, many different avenues, can have the chance to change somebody's mind, to change these misjudgments, these generalizations, these assumptions. There's always going to be stigma attached to mental illness because for whatever reason we live in a world that people look very much at things like diabetes or like cancer or a heart attack, or all these are medical things that I'm discussing, right? Well, mental health is health. Mental health is a medical thing, just like cancer or a stroke or a heart attack or any of that stuff. And that's where we need to get to someday. Like, we need to get to a place that people understand that, because once we do, then I feel like there's going to be this like crack the egg wide open type of situation where people are finally going to be like, finally, finally, I'm seen. I matter. My life matters, and that your pain is justified, and that, you're not just being told, oh, get over it. You're just being dramatic, or, oh, well, that's really not that big of a deal. I don't really understand why you can't just let it go. Like, just all kinds of crap like that. Like, it's tough. So if we're gonna fight the stigmas, we gotta have a why. So I can't wait until YouTube finally lets me do the live version of this. I think it'll be a bit more fun because then hopefully people will talk back with me. So I'm not just talking to a phone. But uh, yeah, we absolutely have to have that why. So I just think about your why. Everybody's can be different. Um, but just you got to have it. You got to have it, okay? So last time I made you guys a promise because I had a lyric picked out from one of the 50 chapters in the book, from the original manuscript before they made me take the lyrics out. And I never got to share that because we ran out of time. So I will share two lyrics today. And they are very different lyrics. Keep in mind before I share, because you might hear these lyrics and you might just be like, ugh. If you feel that way, that's okay. You won't hurt my feelings, I promise. Music is one of the most amazing and powerful coping strategies across the board for anybody, any day, anytime, any situation. And what's beautiful about it is there's so much of it out there and there's so much variety that there's something for everyone to love. So maybe if you're somebody that's really sad, you like to listen to sad music because that makes you feel at peace. But maybe if you're sad, you're the type of person who's like, I need to listen to upbeat music. I need to try to snap myself out of this. Everybody's different. So the first lyric comes from a band called My Chemical Romance. I will admit I was a super fan of theirs, um, back probably 20 years ago when they were just coming out with Welcome to the Black Parade. That was one of my favorite albums ever. Um, so I will just read you the lyrics and then we can kind of analyze them a little bit. It comes from the song Famous Last Words. I am not afraid to keep on living. I am not afraid to walk this world alone. Honey, if you stay, you'll be forgiven. Nothing you can say can stop me going home. To me, when I hear those words, line by line, this is what I hear. I am not afraid to keep on living. I'll tell you what, it's pretty scary sometimes to be mentally ill. It's pretty scary. Um, like the times that I lose feeling in my legs and I can't walk, like out of nowhere. It's absolutely terrifying. Every time that happens, it just breaks my heart over and over again because I just panic thinking just a million spirals of, oh my god, is this ever going to get better? Like, is this ever going to go away and leave me? Like, I don't know. But despite the really scary hard stuff, I have to make the choice to not to be unafraid, to keep on living. I have to keep going. There's no such thing as throwing your hands up and saying, I'm done, I'm out of here. That's it. Suicide's not an option. No one is meant to leave this earth by their own hands. Okay? So I want you to always keep that in mind. I am not afraid to walk this world alone. That I feel like I just identify with because I feel so alone so often because there's not very many people I have in this world that I can relate to on the mental health level as far as like my diagnoses and like what my life looks like day in and day out. So it's almost like a pump up song for myself of like, I'm not afraid to walk this world alone. Like, if I have to walk it alone, I can do it. I'm strong enough to do it. Now, of course, would I prefer to not walk it alone? Of course. Of course. And gratefully, I don't have to because I'm so blessed and I have a wonderful husband who takes just such great care of me and an amazing family as well. So I'm very lucky. Honey, if you stay, you'll be forgiven. The forgiveness part stood out to me and kind of grabbed my heartstrings because the guilt you feel sometimes, or you feel like you've done something wrong, or like just because you have bipolar, like there's something so wrong with you, like you need to apologize or something, like you need to be forgiven. No. Would you apologize for having diabetes? I would hope not. So try to think about it that way. Try to think mental health is health, okay? It's health. It is under the same umbrella as everything else that possibly could happen in the scope of medical issues. And lastly, nothing you can say can stop me going home. And to me, that I take that as every day of my life until it is my last day, I'm going to keep on keeping on and do the best I can to try to have the best quality of life possible. But there's not going to be any chance that I'm going to leave this place any other way except naturally, however I'm meant to go. All right. I'm looking at the time and I'm like, wow, that was already a lot of time. But the second lyric is by a band called State Champs. The words are, sometimes I think I'm bound for losing it all. And I think I'm weighing us down. I think I'm weighing us down. But no, I won't fall. And I wouldn't trade it. I wouldn't trade it. I'm down for life. This one was in a chapter talking directly about, it was a letter about one of my dearest friends. And that's really, I don't have to break this one down quite as intensely. Despite everything, good, bad, everything in between, I'm down for life. I wouldn't trade this friendship. I wouldn't trade this relationship just because it I don't know, because it's scary sometimes because you don't know what to do sometimes, things like that. Okay, so last time we did start talking about meditation, and I wanted to just share the key techniques for simple meditation. I looked online and I searched and searched for like one that I could, actually read and we could try to do the meditation. I wasn't finding anything that was coming up good, to be honest. It really felt like it was forced. It felt like it didn't feel natural. And that's not what meditation is supposed to feel like. So these are the key techniques for simple meditation: breathing focus, body scanning, mindfulness, mantra repetition. Breathing focus, that is as simple as changing your posture and making sure you're sitting upright and observing the rise and fall of your stomach. Sometimes it helps to literally put your hands on your stomach and you could just sit and breathe. And that counts as meditation. It doesn't have to be some big fluffy poem or some, long written out guided meditation. It can be this simple. It really can. Body scanning. So like mentally scanning your body from head to toe and thinking about the areas you feel tension and then just letting it go. And then maybe tightening up again and letting it go. Because once you do that to all the areas that feel that way, there's this that sets in. Again, power of meditation. Mindfulness. This one is all about observing your thoughts and surroundings without judgment. So it's just noticing things for how they are. Okay? that's mindfulness is a complex like topic in itself. So we'll dive into that some other time a little bit deeper. But for now, we'll leave it at that because I don't want to confuse anybody. It can be a little bit confusing. So we'll leave it at that for now. But my favorite part is mantra repetition. So it says to silently repeat a word or phrase such as breathe in or breathe out to keep your mind focused. So, okay, there's one example, and that's super simple. I was a teacher for 6 years, and one of the things that I started my morning meeting with every single day was a positive class mantra. And the first day of school, and probably the first 30 after, these kids stared at me like, you are crazy, lady. You are crazy. You want us to say what? I chose the positive class mantra for the year to be today is going to be a good day. And here's why. Because today you are you, and that is enough. We got this. So I used to say it every single morning, and I would always invite anybody that wanted to take a turn saying it for, I'm telling you, for like probably 6 weeks. Nobody even gave it a shot. They didn't know what to think about it. It was something unlike they'd ever experienced before, I think. And come 2.5 months into the school year, something clicked, and all of a sudden, like one of the like coolest kids in the class, he raised his hand and he wanted to say it, and he read it, but he wanted to read it with his head down because he wanted to prove that he knew it by heart. So once he did it, it was just a ripple down effect, because then it was like, well, if he can do it, maybe I'll do it too. And then another kid, like, ooh, I'll take a turn. Oh, I'll take a turn. And eventually it got to the point that we would all say it together in unison without like any prompting or like 1, 2, 3, go. Like we didn't need it. We all knew it perfectly and said it perfectly together like a hallelujah chorus. It was honestly one of my favorite things that I ever did as a teacher. And to this day, I still have conversations with that cool kid about that positive mantra because he still knows it. And I had him in 5th grade, and he is a 9th grader. So that's pretty special. All right. So that kind of wraps up what we're going to talk about for meditation at this time. Like I said, we'll dive deeper, a little bit down the road, but I just kind of wanted to dip our toe in the water and kind of start to break down the basic elements of it for people that might not have ever been exposed to that before. I think it can be kind of overwhelming if you haven't. So I don't want to make anyone feel overwhelmed. That's not what I'm here to do. I hope I'm giving you positive strategies and positive information that can help you to either best help yourself or to help other people that you care about. And that pretty much sums it up. I'm going to let you guys go because it has been 18 minutes. Sorry, 3 extra minutes. But I really look forward to the opportunity to make these videos each week, and I just want to say thank you for that. If you are enjoying these videos, if you are someone that's watching and following along, please hit the like or subscribe buttons down below, and I will see you next time. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye.